Kennesaw State finally returned home to the bank and looked to put a screeching halt to a two-game skid against a team they haven't played against in 10 years. Welcome to a beautiful scene here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium, where the Kennesaw State Owls host the Eastern Kentucky Colonels. Mattine Rad, joined by Jason Longshore. And Jason, if the Owls want to lock down a spot in the top 8 in the ASUN, they need to start having an easier time in front of goal.
Yeah, we're at the business end of the ASUN season, and the top 8 teams get into the postseason tournament. Right now, KSU is on the outside looking in, but they're level with the 8th spot on points, and they play Bellarmine, who is in that 8th spot, on Sunday. But you got to get something out of this one. For Eastern Kentucky, they're in 4th. It's going to be hard for them to get into one of the top 2 spots. They're going to have to win out and get a ton of help. They're pretty established where they are, but they're looking to build a little bit of momentum. But you nailed it when it comes to the Owls. The goals have to start flying in to climb up the table and get into the postseason tournament. You need to get some goals out of this front 3 tonight with Macy Rainwater, Stella Allen, and Caden Price, who none of them have really gotten on the board too much this year.
Well, take a look at our impact players, and Jason, you just mentioned her. Looking to spark that offense is Macy Rainwater.
Yeah, I thought Rainwater was huge for the Owls late last season when they made a late run and started to get the offense going. It's going to have to be the same in 2022. I love her work rate. I love her pace. She's always going to make that run, but it's got to get delivered. And I really think tonight, with Kendall Higgs pushing back into the midfield and Allie Bryan, who I've been really impressed with this season, picking out the passes, Rainwater's runs off the ball might get rewarded a little bit more tonight.
You just mentioned 3 of the most tenacious players in the ASUN right there. On the other side, quite a tenacious player herself and one of the most prolific goal scorers in the ASUN this season. Tell us about EKU's Maddie Lemery.
Second in the ASUN in goals with 7. One of the higher scoring players in the Southeast region. 4 game-winning goals. That puts Lemery 7th in the country. Lemery's going to be a handful, and she's got pace to burn up top. A lot of times coming off of the left side, it's a very fluid front 6 for the Colonels, but Lemery is the problem that KSU is going to have to deal with.
Both teams starting to line up in an important match day today for the Owls. Stay with us and see how it all unravels. It's Kennesaw State versus Eastern Kentucky. Kickoff is next. Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium as the lineups go ahead and shake hands here in the middle of the pitch. We'll take a look at the starting lineups for the visiting Eastern Kentucky Colonels. And Jason, we know a little bit on the Kennesaw State side about goalkeeper situation. It looks like EKU have found a new starting goalkeeper.
Yeah, a little surprising this late in the season to see that kind of a switch made, but Carly Dick stays in goal. Second straight start, 7 saves in the win over Stetson last time out. You have that kind of a performance and keep a clean sheet, you're going to stay in the job. And Carly Dick stays as the starting goalkeeper. Also look out for number 30, Greta Gunn, leading the team in assists with 4. Part of that fluid front 6 for the Colonels.
And now turning it over to the starting 11 for the Kennesaw State Owls. Something that sticks out to me, Jason, someone who I've said has a different mentality in front of goal, number 11, Stella Allen.
Stella Allen leading the Owls in goals with 3 this season. It's been a little bit more of a goal-scoring by committee approach for Benji Walton and the Kennesaw State Owls. But Allen is the one who can break a game open. And kind of how this front 3 looks is something that we'll be looking for tonight with Allen, Rainwater, and Price leading the line. Are they really going to be interchangeable up front? I could see Price coming through the middle from time to time. Rainwater typically will be there, but Price and Allen can switch flanks quite a bit and could cause the Colonels some problems.
It's something that we've seen a lot this season, right, where the starting 11 comes out, and we don't necessarily know who's going to be starting where for Kennesaw State.
That can be a good thing or a bad thing. That can be a sign of a team that has had a lot of injuries this season in KSU and has had to kind of piece things together at times, which is a fact, the way this campaign has gone. But it can also throw the opponent off as they try to prepare. You're starting to look for tendencies in a team this stage of the season. You're looking for how they build their attacks. You're looking for where players pop up in the final third. You're looking for who the key defensive players are. For Kennesaw State, that has really changed a lot game to game.
Now it looks like we're finally set to go here. Referee in the middle hands the ball to Stella Allen. And there we see Carly Dean, who is coming off a career-high 7-save clean sheet against Stetson, earned her the starting position.
And it's interesting now. It's a kickoff here, but it's interesting to see Rainwater all the way out to the right and Price inside.
Whistle blows. Kendall Higgs will get us started looking for the early diagonal ball out to Bryan, who looks set to start here actually on the left side, somewhere where we haven't seen her much this season. Back into the back 4 of EKU, out to the left side for Lucy Ream. Ream gets that one up. Ball floating up, and that'll be a throw-in for Kennesaw State.
Ream, an impressive left back for the Colonels. 2 goals and 1 assist this season, so she gets forward a good bit.
Has been one of the most stalwart defenders for Coach Matt Kosanuk this season. In the middle here is Thalia Lopez. Share midfield duties with Audrey Anderson as Macy Rainwater looks for the run of Allen, but with coolness and calmness, Maya Ransom goes back to the goalkeeper. However, ball falls back to the edge for Macy Rainwater, who puts a soft shot, easy for Carly Dean to deal with.
Yeah, didn't connect with that cleanly with the left foot, Macy Rainwater, but I like the directness early. It sets a little bit of a tone for what the Owls are looking for, and we talked about the lineup and what it could look like. Rainwater looks to be more in the midfield tonight with Price and Allen up top.
And you talk about the directness, Jason. It might be something that you could say we don't see a lot from Kennesaw State. And now we see Thalia Lopez switch it out right for Rowlett. Rowlett puts the cross in. Decker's going to have to deal with it. Instead, just narrowly missing the net is Maddie Lemery. Already 7 goals this season, was looking for her 8th there.
That's where you see Lemery coming off of the left side. It's hard to pick her up. If she's purely coming through the middle, you're going to identify her and defend her a little bit differently. But she caught Decker a little by surprise that time with the run from the outside in.
Lemery already proving to be a presence in the box and someone that Kennesaw State has to deal with. And Alana Bly puts that one out.
Just miss hit.
Frustratingly so for the freshman goalkeeper. Throwing to be taken here by Ream. Great skill there from Thalia Lopez, the Spaniard. Ball hoofed up over the top for Lemry to run onto. Instead, it'll be cleared by Aaron Miller. And looking to get onto that one was Maya Ransom. Unfortunately, just ran that one out of bounds.
Yeah, the Owls will have to make a decision tonight the way it goes, because the Colonels will step up and press from time to time as they are here. But the Owls are going to have to decide, can they sit back and absorb a whole lot of pressure as it's looking early, or are they going to have to try to get some possession and keep the ball to just get a chance for their defense to breathe?
Ream trying to cause more pressure here. She's been the player we said the most already for EKU, someone who's omnipresent for EKU. Slight miscue there from Malika. She recovers well, puts the ball up for Allie Bryan.
Yeah,
Brian
took a deflection for Malika. She was able to get her body in front of it and keep that in front of her.
Malika hoofs that one up, headed back to where it came from by Lanter. Ball falls into the middle for Kylie Fitzgerald. Good run here has ended with a pass that finds the feet of her adversary, Aaron Miller. And we've seen this a lot from Kennesaw State, trying to absorb that pressure and dealing with that pressure, as she always does, is Kendall Higgs. Finds Malika.
Strength of Higgs to hold off the challenge and keep possession.
And this will be whistled for a drop ball here, as Kennesaw State probably would have retained possession there, but I think just to be safe rather than sorry, referee Sky Arthur blowing the whistle there.
Yeah, you have to in those situations. It's part of the new laws of the game. When the ball comes off the referee, it goes back to the team in possession. You don't really have the ability to play advantage in those moments.
Cameron Simmons here finds Malika on the left side. Simmons will be sharing the center back duties today with Miller. Two good friends in real life and partners on the field today. Driving through the middle here is Fitzgerald. On to the right side for Roll It. Cross comes in, difficult for Borgelt to deal with. Ends up finding Malika well. Malika tried to put that up towards the halfway line. Long cross comes in. It'll evade everybody and go out for a goal kick.
If the Owls are going to get forced into this kind of game as the first 5 minutes or so have gone, the forwards are going to have to drop a little bit more to help them get out of the back, because Eastern Kentucky is going to press. Now, how long are they going to press is the question. Do they run out of gas and step back a little bit? But early on, we've seen the Owls try to clear out of the back and not be able to find the forward line.
ASUN, one of the most physical conferences in women's soccer in Division I. And here come EKU once again. It's Lemery on the left side, charging towards the edge of the box. Cross comes in. It takes a deflection and goes out toward midfield.
Well dealt with by the Owls that time.
Long shot comes, but it's wide. Lana Bly watches that one go out.
Good job by Aaron Miller in the back to clear that last cross from Lemery. It's fascinating to see Eastern Kentucky play. I mean, it's a 4-4-2, but in the build-up, the forwards flare out very wide. It almost turns into a 4-3-3 with a false 9, because the forwards are not where you would expect them to be. They're wider, so it's a little difficult to deal with defensively.
Especially for the fullbacks, Jason.
The forwards are trying to get in the gap between the fullback and the center back. That's where they're trying to get, to force players to start looking at one another. No, it's yours. No, it's yours.
Free kick going to be taken here by Lanter. Actually, it'll be taken by Burdick. Instead finds Allie Bryan. Could be a chance here for Kennesaw State to make a charge the other direction. Caden Price looking for options. Goes back to Naomi Malika. Malika was looking for a diagonal to Stella Allen. Instead finds the back four of EKU.
That's okay. It gives you that time to catch your breath a little bit defensively, but you've got to follow up with pressure like Caden Price just did.
And we're seeing players in positions that we haven't seen them in for Kennesaw State. We don't see Caden Price often on the left. We don't see Stella Allen through the middle all that much. We don't see Macy Rainwater on the right. There's some interesting personnel ideas coming from Benji Walton.
Good from Bly.
Bly finds Price. Diagonal. Finds the feet of Burdick. Brian has been so tenacious on the ball, one of the best dribblers on this team. Price cuts that one back for Malika. Malika will dribble that one out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Colonels.
Malika's the one so far that the Owls are trying to find to hit that long ball.
And Caden Price getting in a foot race here with Greta Gunn. Greta Gunn wins that race, but then dribbles it out for a goal kick. Greta Gunn showing the pace early here, Jason.
Yeah, Gunn was able to outrun Cameron Simmons that time, get around the outside, but couldn't quite turn the corner up against the end line.
If you're going to have a powerful name like that, Greta Gunn, you have to play it powerfully.
Absolutely.
Greta Gunn does just that. 4 assists on the season for her. Aaron Miller dribbles it out. Does well to find Allen, but Allen's dribble cut out there by Fitzgerald. EKU, as they have most of this half, look to work. Ream keeps that in. Actually, no, says the referee. Either way, it was going out, whether it be for a throw-in or for a goal kick. This time, it's a throw-in.
Ream got the jump on Rainwater that time with the run out of the back. She was unaccounted for, but the Colonels did not connect the dots.
And we're seeing the fullbacks get up here too, Jason. You talked about how the wingers might be sometimes hard to read. As we see another chance here for EKU, there was a great shot there from, I believe it was
Lopez.
Yep, Thalia Lopez, the Spaniard.
Lopez has been impressive early on, the fifth-year senior from Pamplona, Spain. Really technical on the ball.
Easy to see the acumen that she has from her days playing both in Spain and at Pitt, where she is a transfer from. That ball gets behind Malika and it hugs the line, but Cameron Simmons is there. Back to Malika.
Good ball from Malika.
Here on the left side is Brian. Brian trying to charge past Ransom, but Ransom shows the strength.
Excellent defending from Ransom as Brian just could not get on that.
Here in the middle again is Thalia Lopez, the Spaniard.
What a ball.
Finds a great ball for Lemery. Decker had to be wise there, and she showed the wisdom.
The first touch from Lopez with the little back heel to herself was absolutely brilliant. But Decker read it the whole way and shut down Lemery.
Lopez, really one of the few players on this team that isn't from Kentucky or from Ohio. We'll talk about that more in a second. This is Lopez again. Finds Ream on the left. Ream, the fullback, really getting up there, taking on Macy Rainwater, but Macy Rainwater never backs down from a challenge.
It's what makes Eastern Kentucky so difficult to deal with is those forwards, sometimes wide, sometimes central. They create space for the fullbacks to get forward, and so far, it's typically been Lucy Ream down the left.
Ream with a throw-in. Lopez took too long on the ball, got cut out by Macy Rainwater. And Macy Rainwater, Jason, as a forward, was going to have to do a good job defending in her own right with how much these fullbacks have gotten up.
Yeah, I think that's why she's on the right side, and it's really turned the Owls into a 4-4-2 tonight as opposed to the 4-3-3 because Rainwater's had to play so deep dealing with the forward runs from Ream.
Burdick into the middle for Rowlett. Long diagonal for Cameron Simmons to watch roll out. Actually, she'll save that, square it for Bly. Bly with a slow roller to Decker. Decker evaluates her options, tries to put it over the top for Macy Rainwater. Macy Rainwater against Lucy Ream. And Jason, that's turned out to be one of the most interesting battles of the night so far.
Yeah, I like that ball behind Ream. Make her defend, make it harder for her to get forward.
She has to defend again here for Stella Allen. Stella Allen moves it onto the left, onto the right. Cross comes in off Ream and out for a corner kick.
Good 1v1 defending from Ream, but that's what you do to a fullback who's going to bomb forward all night. Make them defend, make them have to have that lung-busting run back to defend. It makes them think twice about those extra runs going forward.
And we see an early substitution here, Jason. Naomi Malika comes out and Mai Jensen comes in. We talked earlier in the season about maybe seeing Jensen play at left back. Is that potentially what we're seeing here?
It's got to be, because that's where Malika has been. Now, Malika has been getting forward. That's something Jensen does really well. Could give the Owls a little bit different dimension.
Borgelt here on the corner. Cross comes in. There's a good one right into the 18-yard box. Stella Allen with a shot, and now has some work to do in the other direction. Trying to make a charge here is Ransom. Finds the pass up. It was almost a great ball forward. You have to wonder if she may have been offside there or not. Cleared by Haley Decker.
Onside.
And a great clearance it is, finding Stella Allen. Stella Allen, edge of the box. Is she fouled? No, says the referee. Macy Rainwater with a turn, and what a turn it is. Allen. On to the left. Bryan. Bryan so good with the ball. So good at retaining possession as Allie Bryan finds Macy Rainwater. Tries to drive to the byline. Off the defender once again. It'll go out for a throw in towards the corner flag.
The Owls are going to have to win their 1v1 duels tonight. Bryan especially, Rainwater out wide on the right. Allen in her 1v1 moments. So far, the Colonels have been handling those situations.
And it looks likely that Mai Jensen is playing left back, but she's really getting up there. Cross, left foot from Allie Bryan, headed out. Borgelt headed down into the feet of Kendall Higgs.
Just couldn't quite turn to unleash that shot at the top of the 18.
Half clearance finds Ream, and finding Kylie Fitzgerald was Greta Gunn.
So smart from Delia Lopez just to get her foot on the ball, hold it for a minute, get organized.
It's almost like you could tell just by watching these play.
Ooh,
oh my God, what a ball.
Flag up.
Flag comes up as the run of Maddie Lemery earns her an offside call. Jason, sometimes you could tell without looking at the roster sheet if a player is a European, because they have that style about them, don't they?
You can tell what country they're from sometimes. If I had not known that Delia Lopez was Spanish, I would have probably told you 10 minutes in that she was Spanish. The way she plays like a typical central midfielder in a Spanish, Barcelona kind of possession-based setup.
You're seeing more and more Europeans in the game today. Haley Decker with the ball up finds Bryan. Bryan finds a smart ball toward Price. Price knew she wasn't going to get on the end of it.
Yeah, that's one. If Price is moving before the pass is made, maybe she can get there. But Bryan that time won the 1v1, created the angle to play that ball through.
Few players on the pitch with the pace of Caden Price. It's exactly what you want to try to do with a player like her. Put the ball over the top and let her win a foot race, as she is often to do.
It's a good start for the Owls so far. They're handling what EKU does really well. They're handling that and denying it and starting to get forward more and more as we get into the first half.
Audrey Anderson was pressured there by Mai Jensen. Goes out for a throw-in to be taken here by Maya Ransom. A real fluid look here from the 11 of EKU. Am I wrong here, Jason?
The front six is. The back four is pretty established. They just like to use the left side more in the attack than the right. That's what's allowing Mai Jensen to get forward more. She's on it now and tries to find an angle out wide.
Jensen dribbles that one out. Be a throw-in here to be taken here by Ransom.
I like the move from Benji Walton, because if Eastern Kentucky's going to let their right back stay home a lot more in Bailey Lanter and get forward down the left, then you can take advantage and have your left back push forward a lot more and join the attack.
It's almost like he's trying to mirror what's happening on the pitch, just that kind of diagonal cut across the pitch between these two teams.
Exactly.
Kendall Higgs wins the ball and finds Haley Decker, the right back. Decker, much more a stay-at-home defender than her left back counterpart, and that pass is cut out there by Ream, who looks for the over-the-top, headed back to Decker by Miller, but trouble arising there almost for Kennesaw State. A lot of over-the-top balls being played through both teams. Rainwater wins that one. Unable to run onto it was Caden Price.
Both teams are kind of lopsided in the way that they're approaching it. Decker's almost a third center back for the Owls because of the threat of Lemery coming off of the left side. Jensen getting forward a ton down the left. Ream getting forward a ton down the left for Eastern Kentucky.
Greta Gunn with a turn. Making the run is Kylie Fitzgerald. The ball won't reach her, though, as she's cut off by Miller. Miller back to Bly. Long, high ball. Tried to find the head of Allie Bryan. Price finds Rainwater. Good passing play, the best we've seen today from Kennesaw State. Goes out wide for Macy Rainwater. Options need to come out in the middle here for Kennesaw State. Cross put to the back post. Jensen touches down, tries to turn, attempts the shot, but will go out for a goal kick.
Not bad. Not bad at all. It's a great interplay to get Rainwater loose down the right side. She has to get some air under that to play it to the back post. And Jensen, the left back, gets forward and creates a shot out of it.
There's a player struggling for EKU. I believe it's Mackenzie Burdick. And the trainer will come out to check on her as we take a look at Mai Jensen. Looks like perhaps a bloody nose here.
That's what I was thinking, the way that she was jogging over to the side.
In a strange way, it's what you like to see, as it's something that's not more serious. Believe she'll plug that up and try to continue, but first she'll have to make her way to the sideline.
Yeah, they'll have to make sure that they can make that stop, and also make sure that, and she was trying very hard not to get any blood on her jersey. I think she was able to manage it.
It looks like they'll make the sub anyway. Coming in is number 28 for EKU, Peyton Payne.
Freshman from New York. Is she going to drop into the back line to replace Burdick? It's an opportunity for the Owls to maybe go for another ball over the top and test the substitute who's just come in.
Payne, the freshman midfielder, is listed on the roster. You have to believe she'll come into the back line. Good read there by Borgel to help out Caden Price. A little bit of a miscue of a pass. Stella Allen almost got onto it. Diagonal goes out from Maya Ransom.
First 5 minutes, the Colonels really put Kennesaw State on their heels, but ever since then, it's been all Owls.
And here's the Owls again. Allie Bryan charging through the middle. Looks for the long shot, but it's well high and easy for Carly Dean to watch that sail over the crossbar.
Don't mind that from Allen. You win the 1v1 and create the space to take the shot, have the shot. Didn't strike it as cleanly as she would have liked, but when you're able to start beating people on the dribble, have the shot when you're inside your range.
And look who checks back in. It's Lucy Ream. Lucy Ream, it took her only a minute and a half to score at Austin P earlier this month. It was a 3-2 win. Ended up being a crucial goal for the Colonels. Headed back to where it came from by Bryan. Easily dealt with by Audrey Anderson.
But under pressure.
Kennesaw State doing a great job of putting pressure on the back line, which is maybe something we didn't see in this stadium against Queens and Liberty.
Yeah, it's something that's necessary in a game like this one where you're going to get pressed, and we've seen the Owls make the decision to play long out of the back quite a bit. You can't play long and then stay at home because you're just going to have that ball come back down your throat all night long. You've got to play long and then press in the other half.
Throw in by Jensen is cleared. Great touch down by Greta Gunn. Still Gunn on the ball.
Great work from Higgs.
Kendall Higgs, someone who's so proficient on both sides of the ball. We've seen it not only all season long, but all of her career. Headed straight up multiple times by EKU. Gunn into the middle. Cleared up high for Lemry to run onto. Headed into the midfield by Miller. Finds Borgelt. Borgelt pressured by Thalia Lopez. Good dual one there by Cameron Simmons.
Fancy footwork from Cameron Simmons.
Macy Rainwater unable to turn with the ball, though. Thalia Lopez finds Kylie Fitzgerald out to the left here for Ream. Blocked, though, by Caden Price.
Price has to be aware of Ream trying to get forward.
Kennesaw State doing a great job of just lathering EKU with pressure in the back, but EKU has done a great job of handling it with so far. My Jensen now gets a second chance at that ball. Tries to put the ball up. Cleared, though, and possession maintained by EKU. Out here on the right, EKU looking a great 1-2, finds Audrey Anderson. You know who Anderson's going to be looking for in the middle, and it's Lemery, and it forces a save out of Alana Bly.
Acrobatic shot, just trying to redirect that and make it difficult for Bly to see it coming. Little bit of a late reaction from Bly, but she got to the post, had it covered, was able to pounce on the rebound.
You see why Lemery has scored 7 goals this season. Looking like an absolute fox in the box as EKU continues to try and cross and put in chances for the senior forward from Montgomery, Alabama. Throw in here for EKU. Referee not happy with where it was going to be taken. Ransom looking for options. Eventually finds Gunn. Puts that up into no man's land. Finds the Kennesaw State defender, Miller. And it looks like Kennesaw State almost operating in a back three right now, Jason.
Yeah, it's both teams are kind of all pulled out of the shapes that they started from as we get a collision on the far side. Jensen felt like she was dragged down by Anderson, but the foul is called on Mai Jensen. Both teams are adapting to the way this game is honestly playing out. The shape is secondary to the responsibilities that the players have and their roles and the way the game is flowing.
A little more than 22 minutes left here in the first half. EKU leading shots on goal 2-1. Both teams with 4 shots.
A run of play, I feel like Kennesaw State has been the better team in the first half of the first half.
Kennesaw State have definitely looked convincing thus far and looked convinced themselves that they can counterattack aptly and get something out of this first half. Long clearance comes up. Kane Price has to be wise to it. Puts that one out for a throw-in.
Good work defensively from Price.
Substitutions to be made here by both teams. Checking in for the Colonels is Allie Kirk. For Kennesaw State, Tiana Rivera and Kendall Hoskins. If history is to repeat itself, you would think that these will be your 2 wingers.
It's 2 positions on the field tonight that are going to get a significant workout with how the Colonels like to get their fullbacks forward.
Kendall Hoskins is impressed on the right as of late. Ream into the midfield for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to the edge of the box, back into the midfield. The first touch from Allie Kirk sails into the hands of Alana Bly.
As we talked about off the top, the seeding to get into the A-Sun tournament, the top 8 will go this year. It's very crowded for that 8th spot right now. 7 points is the line, and there's 4 teams on 7 points. The Owls are one of them, and they have a game in hand.
Fitzgerald with a charging run. Almost found the run of Lemery, but it was great defending there from Haley Decker.
Decker had to get a touch there, so Lemery couldn't turn the corner. No score in any of the other games going on so far, except for one that does help Kennesaw State. Stetson at home, trailing to Austin P 1-0. Stetson is in 9th currently, but they're on that 7-point line, and they also have a game in hand.
Kennesaw State will meet Stetson here on the last match of the season. That's on Sunday, October 23rd. Corner comes in from Gunn, headed out by Higgs.
That KSU Stetson game could be a play-in game, essentially.
Possession maintained here from EKU. Cut out by Price, who looks to have taken up a right back position.
Yeah, it's a right wing position, but with the way that Eastern Kentucky likes to attack out of the back on that left side, Price has to stay back and defend. She's done a good job in 2 sequences straight away.
Delia Lopez with a great pass, looking for the run of Lemery. Can she finish pass? Alana Bly, she still has an opportunity, kicks the ball out of the hands and has to be cleared by Cameron Simmons.
2 big saves for Bly in that sequence. An amazing pass from Delia Lopez.
And now Kennesaw State has a throw in, has a chance to get the ball into the other half. Alana Bly has just impressed over and over again, has constantly looked older than her age this year, Jason.
Fearless, diving at Lemery's feet. Initially, the ball popped loose. Bly was able to get back to it and deal with Lemery trying to take a follow-up shot. 2 big saves from Alana Bly.
Kendall Hoskins back to Miller, puts the ball up, headed back to where it came from by Ransom. Bryan. And Bryan forces the last touch there off Ream, will earn a throw in for her side.
Yeah, gets the throw. She was trapped with 2 defending her, able to get something out of it and keep possession.
Allie Bryan trapped, but no one more adept in this Kennesaw State side, in my opinion, at getting out of those traps. More adept than Allie Bryan. Great little stutter step there, and earns herself a free kick.
Delia Lopez is a fun player to watch. Running at 2 defenders, she doesn't care at all. Splits them, draws the foul.
And someone that just forces space out of her opponent. I mean, you see, look at the score sheet. She hasn't had a goal or an assist this year, but you can see that she has that deeper lying role where she just tries to force space. And referee saying that Kendall Hoskins is a little too close to that free kick.
In a game like this one where KSU has done a very good job of containing the Colonel's attack, a player like Delia Lopez becomes vital.
And now charging the other direction, Tiana Rivera. She still has a lot of work to do. And that pass cut out by Caitlin Rowlett.
Tried to dribble to the outside. Rowlett had that handled.
Aaron Miller in the other direction. A little bit of a miscue of a clearance there. Aaron Miller has to keep an eye on Lemery. Finds Decker. Puts that one out for a throw in. Better safe than sorry there from the Kennesaw State defender.
Yeah, it's one if you can somehow find Price up the line, you take it. Otherwise, you concede the throw and regroup.
And now, Jason, it's time for the commentator's nightmare. 4 subs come into the matchup.
Eastern Kentucky in their last one, the win over Stetson, they played 20 players in that one. With such a high-energy style, they're going to rotate their players quite a bit. We will do our best to keep up with where they are on the pitch.
Ream with a throw, headed out by Borgelt, and it'll be a corner here. Advantageous here for EKU.
Maya Sharpless going to take it. Sharpless has been an impactful player off the bench for the Colonels. 2 goals and 2 assists this season for the senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Sharpless, a transfer out of head coach alumni Matt Cosino's FAU. Ball bouncing all around the 6-yard box. Ends at the feet of Allie Bryan. Puts the ball up, but there's no one there for Kennesaw State.
That's fine to clear that and regroup.
Great ball over the top. EKU can make something out of it here, but Alana Bly, as we've seen a lot from her this season, Jason, jumps into that channel and claims the ball.
Fearless. Absolutely fearless. Alana Bly, for a freshman, jumping out there on a cross and claiming it with both hands.
Long ball put up, and it could cause danger again for Kennesaw State. Aaron Miller, though, so good and just guides that back to Bly and actually earns her side a free kick.
You love to see a freshman who has earned the trust of the players around her. A lot of times your senior center back is going to clear that with your freshman goalkeeper coming out, but Miller lets Bly handle it.
Simmons dribbles that one to the touchline and hammer it out. Right behind Simmons is athletic director Milton Overton.
It's one of those games where it's going to go in waves. The first 5 minutes was all Colonels. Then it was Kennesaw State getting into the attacking half, really setting up shop. Since Eastern Kentucky went to the bench in significant numbers, they've threatened a couple of times in a row. KSU has to kind of handle this moment and get through it and get back into the attacking half.
We saw the first touch there for Agata Gianni. Throw-in comes in for Hoskins. Gianni crowded in a sea of white. Now, moving the other direction is Kylie Fitzgerald. Moves the ball out to the right. Shifting and shaking. Earns the throw in. It's taken quickly, ultimately cleared by Kennesaw State. Things were going in the right direction for a while for Kennesaw State, Jason, but it looks like EKU now claiming that direction is having to come out again as Alana Bly. She just reads those sweeper keeping opportunities so well.
Yeah, that's an easy one for Bly. As long as she is locked in and reacting, she's going to get to that one.
Kendall Hoskins unable to get a clean touch on it.
Fresh legs for the Colonels have kind of flipped the game back in their direction.
Peyton Payne looking for options on the throw. And great physical play here from Tatiana Thompson. Out here on the left for Ream. Options are starting to come into the box for Ream. Ream takes it to the byline, and again, once into the hands of Alana Bly.
Price doesn't win a tackle there, but it's good defending from Caden Price because it limits the angle that Ream has for the cross.
Good touch there for Hoskins. Did for her what she wanted it to do. Cameron Simmons galloping up, trying to find Jensen, but it's cut out. Now, in the other direction, Miller intercepts that one and puts it out for a throw-in.
Good decision. You get stretched. You have to cover for your fellow center back and Simmons there. You don't have time to try to settle that and pick out a pass. Just play it out and reset.
Touchdown off the chest by Mila Sharpless, who earns her side a free kick.
Arm elbow came out just a little bit from Jensen there.
She looks set to take said free kick. Sharpless with a hand up. Free kick comes in. Not necessarily 1, 2, 3 for Alana Bly to deal with, but she leaps up and grasps that one.
Yeah, runner behind her that she's got to deal with and make sure that Allie Kirk can't get on the end of that. But Bly was in complete control of the situation.
Ball falls to Higgs. Looking for the run here of Tiana Rivera. Great speed, though, from the EKU defense. Nullifies the run of Rivera.
But that's okay. You flip the field. Now you've got to throw in the final third, and you can get back into their half and kind of set up shop a little bit. Got to find Higgs more. Got to get Kendall Higgs on the ball more. It feels like she's the one who can unlock this defense.
2 subs coming in for Kennesaw State. Brenna Young will check in, as will Teresa Woke for Sydney Borgel and Caden Price. Brenna Young looking set to check in into the middle of that attack for Kennesaw State.
Yeah, we'll see how the pieces shift because Price did a good job defensively, as Rainwater did early on dealing with the Colonels attacking down the left.
2 substitutions for Kennesaw State. Can they find the opener here with a little less than 11 minutes to go here in the first half? Ball will go all the way through for Carly Dean.
Looking for Young, but it was defended very well, and Ransom got the last touch to it, back to her goalkeeper.
Carly Dean, a transfer out of Louisiana, loves to give back constantly, volunteers for the Special Olympics. Gianni tries to pressure along with Brenna Young. Long ball over the top once again, something we've seen a lot from both sides. Aaron Miller puts that one up with the left foot. Ball will fall here for Gianni. Back for Woke. Was looking for the diagonal for my Jensen. Great little touch pass there from Mila Sharpless. Almost created an opportunity there for Tatiana Jones.
Both teams just struggling to connect the dots in the final third.
That's a hard challenge there from Gianni.
Good work by Kirk to earn that free kick.
A couple more substitutions to come waiting in what would usually be the fourth official spot. No fourth official in collegiate soccer. Don't need it for the no stoppage time here. Gonna be taken by Ransom to the edge of the box. Headed straight back. Almost found the run of Tatiana Jones. Alana Bly cuts that one out and sends it up. Goes off the chest of Young. Falls for Rivera. Rivera finds the run of Hoskins. Great job by Hoskins to move onto the left foot. Finds Higgs. Higgs twists and turns. Rivera back to Hoskins. Hoskins did a good job to get by Ream. She still has the ball, though. To the byline. And coming out to claim that one, mimicking Alana Bly, is Carly Dean.
Dean handles that really well after the last touch from Hoskins got away from her. Got a little bit of a gift after a good defensive stand initially, but Hoskins had good awareness, got back on the ball, and got into the 18 on the dribble.
The difference maker in this half so far has been Alana Bly, who's made 5 saves in this half. Good tackle there by Cameron Simmons. Leaves Maddie Murphy on the ground.
That's excellent from Simmons, using her size and her strength and her reading of the game to have the right angle there on Murphy and not let Murphy turn the corner.
Cara Haas checks in. A couple more substitutions for Eastern Kentucky. Such a deep, deep squad is this Colonel squad, Jason.
Yeah, it's a team that relies on a lot of energy. It's tough to build up a rhythm with all the subs. Sometimes that's not necessary when you're able to just outwork opponents.
Cameron Simmons ended up winning the race against Maddie Murphy. Cross comes in with a left foot. Great defending there from Kendall Hoskins. Gianni will get to this one first. Puts a long ball over the top. It almost found the run of Brenna Young. Ended up being cut out by Caitlin Rowlett.
Jensen, though, wins it back.
Jensen, some tenacious play from her there, but unable to break through. Rivera, though, does break through. Puts it onto the right foot. Long shot comes in, and it almost tricked Carly Dean. Good recovery from her, though, to sprawl to her left and keep that one out.
The recovery is excellent, but she was absolutely tricked by that shot from Rivera. And you saw 4 Kennesaw State players pounce on the opportunity to press right in the middle of the pitch and create that turnover to give Rivera the opportunity.
No doubt the best opportunity of the half for Kennesaw State. Maddie Murphy keeps trying to take on Cameron Simmons. Cameron Simmons, that one was given the advantage for.
Yeah, it's 2 strong tackles from Simmons once again, and it's another time where she takes the right angle, doesn't give Murphy the opportunity to get in behind.
Jensen puts that one off the defender, earns her side a throw in.
6 minutes left in the first half. Feels like that wave of energy from the Colonels has maybe dissipated a little bit, and the Owls have found a couple of opportunities to get forward with that ball over the top.
The best opportunities have come through Maddie Lemery, who forced a double stop out of Alana Bly. Although EKU looking to create something else here. Tatiana Jones to the right side. Looking for options in the middle. Moves on to her left. Was looking for the run of Sharpless.
It's excellent from Decker.
Decker did a great job of using her body to keeping Sharpless from running onto that one. Woke tries to take on Tatiana Jones. Tatiana Jones does well to spin out of that one. Finds Haas. Haas out to the right side. Great defending there from Mai Jensen, who looks great in that left back role that we thought we might see her in the beginning of the season.
She's an attack-minded left back, but that doesn't come at the expense of being a good 1v1 defender.
Kennesaw State almost did a good job there of progressing up the field. It's cut out, and now in the middle here is Allie Kirk. Up the right side, it takes a touch off Sharpless. Will go out for a Kennesaw State throw.
In other ASUN action, no real surprise by this scoreline. Liberty has scored late in the first half. They're up 1-0 at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville looked like a new program at the beginning of the year, but have struggled in conference play. It's a great ball to find Kendall Hoskins, but she's flagged for offside.
Started the run just a little too early, but great work from Rivera to turn and pick that through ball out. If Hoskins had been able to hold her run just a beat longer, might have been able to get on that.
Hoskins flagged by assistant referee Gunwin Park there. Free kick for Ransom into the midfield, cleared out by Decker. Headed on by Rivera.
Rivera's brought a lot of life to this attack since coming off the bench for the Owls.
As she often does. Brenna Young here on the left side against Ransom. Great fake cross there to get it onto her left foot. And she's tackled in the box. And that'll go out for a corner. I thought he was almost going to point to the spot there, Jason.
Ooh, that's a really close one as Brenna Young pulled the fake and the hesitation to then get around the back line, get into the 18, looking for the left-footed cross. Last touch goes off of Eastern Kentucky, but it looked like the challenge got a good bit of Brenna Young as well as the ball. Getting the ball, and it's something that we talk about a lot, getting the ball on a tackle doesn't give you immunity to having a foul called on you. I thought maybe the defender went through Young to get to the ball.
Great opportunity with 2.5 minutes left on the clock here in the first half for Mai Jensen to put in a dangerous ball. That's exactly what she does. Erin Miller! Miller with the cross from Mai Jensen on the corner. And just like that, it's Kennesaw State 1, EKU 0.
Second goal of the year for Erin Miller from a set piece. Perfect delivery for Jensen. And it's a situation where Kennesaw State has a size advantage in those moments. Jensen doesn't try to drive the corner, floats it a little bit, lets Miller go up, use her size, win the header, and place it over Dean.
They thought that they might have had a dead ball opportunity with a penalty. Instead, it comes from a corner from Mai Jensen, who finds Erin Miller for her second goal of the year.
Huge goal when you look at the ASUN standings right now. As things currently sit, that would give KSU the opportunity to get to 10 points and get into a tournament spot.
And Tatiana Jones, I think, had the wind knocked out of her. Actually, excuse me, that's Lydia Gervier. Jones standing right there next to her. Throw in. Comes back to Lanter. Challenged there by Rivera. Minute and a half here in the first half for EKU to find an answer. Sharpless finds the feet of Simmons. Woke out to the left side for Jensen.
That's a great ball from Woke.
Rivera to run onto this one. Great sliding, crunching challenge there from Bailey Lanter.
But Rivera makes sure that she wins the throw for the Owls. Biggest thing that KSU can do right now is get to the halftime break with the lead. 60 seconds to play.
1 minute remaining as the call over the PA. That one goes off an EKU defender, and Kennesaw State should be able to pin EKU here and keep that lead advantage going into the halftime whistle.
Kennesaw State has been one of the best defensive teams in the ASUN conference play.
Hoskins. There's also another chance for them to tack another one here late in the half. Rivera towards the corner flag. Fakes the cross onto the left foot. It's still Rivera. It's still Rivera! Curling shot from Tiana Rivera late on in the first half. It's Kennesaw State 2, EKU 0.
Absolute golazo from Tiana Rivera. wanted that the whole way, knows the clock's running down. You want to take as much of that time as possible. And Rivera says, I've got it. Get out of my way.
And
Cuts back inside twice and gets the shot. No chance for Dean to make the save.
And look what happened there, Jason. It forced a meeting of the minds there from the entire 11 for EKU, saying, all right, how do we get back into this one?
Yeah, a little surprising with 22 seconds that's what you do there. But that really changes the halftime speech from Matt Kozanuk, who up until the first goal, you're probably okay with where the game is if you're the Colonels. You're probably fine with the way it's going. You feel like you're going to get something out of the second half. But now the game is flipped on its head. First from a set piece, and then a golazo from Rivera.
3, 2, 1, and like that, Kennesaw State, Jason, they had to find an answer offensively, and they go into halftime up 2-0, thanks to a great headed goal from a corner from Mai Jensen. Scoring it was Aaron Miller in the 43rd minute. And then, with just 23 seconds left on the clock, Tiana Rivera with a sensational curler from the left foot.
They needed goals coming into this stage of the season where the Owls had only scored 3 times in conference play in 6 games. They almost double that up in the first 45 tonight.
Still, if that first half is any barometer of what's to come in the second half, there is still plenty more action to come against Kennesaw State. EKU is currently down a 2-0. We'll see what happens in the second half. Don't switch off.
Big time rush. Friend. You are correct. It is friend. There's a and the final one. You are correct. It was Golden Girl. Congratulations on getting 2 out of the 5 correct. Owls fans, don't forget that women's soccer returns to the Patriots Pittsburgh Stadium on Sunday, October 16th at 1 p.m. with Bell Night. State open at 12 p.m. Go Owls! Coming up this weekend, we have our volleyball team at the Convocation Center tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 6 p.m. with free admission. Your Owls football is back at Pittsburgh Stadium on Saturday at 1 p.m. And you can bring your football tickets on Saturday's game to the volleyball match that night and receive a free t-shirt. We can't wait to see you there. Go Owls! We would like to welcome the players of National Top Hat. Thank you for coming and supporting our Owls soccer team.
Hi, Mom.
Part of their deal was that we're not going to have practice. But you can do whatever you want, but you got to do it. Hard practice. They have to decide game notes. I was like, it's your game, but you got to get some notes. You got to practice. You got to do what you know. This is great game. When I came in, I was in the
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Matt Teenrad and Jason Longshore calling this one. Take a look at the halftime stats. And Jason, they say that this is a very even match. However, the last 2.5 minutes in the first half were the difference maker.
Yeah, everything changed, and it really wasn't about the stat sheet that would lead you to believe possibly that Eastern Kentucky's been the better team in the first half. I think the run of play has been pretty even, maybe shaded a little bit to Kennesaw State in terms of control. I think the attacking threat has come from Eastern Kentucky at times until the last couple of minutes of the first half. And you have to go back to the goals that the Owls scored. The corner, a ton of credit to Brenna Young for earning the corner, potentially earning a penalty before. It wasn't given. The corner is given. Mai Jensen, the freshman, goes over to take it and doesn't drive it in, doesn't play to the near post, plays to the team's strengths, floats it up, lets Aaron Miller go up and win the header because Kennesaw State has a size advantage on set pieces. Jensen played to that. Really intelligent play from the freshman. And then a couple minutes later, we're talking about, get out of the half, just get to the locker room, get settled with the lead. Tiana Rivera says, y'all can just shut up now. I'm going to go add a second goal. And she goes and beats two on the dribble, cuts back to her left inside the 18, and puts a shot up in the corner that no chance for Carly Dean to make the play. And Eastern Kentucky, after being the more threatening team in moments, maybe not having the control, but being more dangerous at times, they were rattled at the end of the half. And now that's a really difficult halftime conversation for Matt Kozanuk, the coach, to get them back in this way of thinking about you're 2 goals down now and you got to go rescue a point in this one.
And we knew this was an important matchup between these two sides, and the live standings are showing that now, aren't they, Jason?
It's so crowded in the A-Sun. It's probably the most competitive conference going right now. Liberty on 22 points right now with the live table. They're leading on the road 2-1. Lipscomb is 1-1. That gets them to 20 points. We knew that coming in, that those two would be there. Florida Gulf Coast on 16 and third. They're pretty well established. But fourth is Eastern Kentucky on 11. Fifth is Central Arkansas, also on 11. Sixth is North Florida on 10. Now Kennesaw State, by virtue of what they've done here in the first half, they jumped to 7th. That puts them into the tournament on 10 points. 8th is Queens on 8. Then North Alabama on 8. Bellarmine on 7. Stetson on 7. So crowded from 4 down to 11.
A much-needed win for Kennesaw State today, and they look well on their way. Kendall Higgs calmly dribbles back and back up, finds Rivera, who earned starting the second half. Ball will fall to EKU here in the midfield. It's Lemery.
Now, the trick for the Owls in this second half is the Colonels are going to bring everything to start the second half. You have to ride that out and then regain control of it.
All the way back here for Bailey Lanter. Dribbled up the right side by Burdick. Miller puts a boot through that one. It'll be headed on by Rainwater. Actually headed back despite her forward movement. Kendall Higgs, though, still has the ball. Could find the run here of Rainwater. But beating Rainwater in the foot race is the number 27 counterpart, Maya Ransom.
Rainwater nearly won a corner there.
Such a clever player. Such a player that'll never back down from any kind of fight.
Look, with a 2-goal lead, this back line, it's gotten a lot easier for KSU. You don't have to try to connect the dots passing. You don't have to try to find people in the attacking half. You can just play it and let Rainwater chase, let Rivera chase.
But something they might have to be cautious of, Jason, is we saw the pressure and the forward numbers from EKU in the first half. You have to believe that they're going to increase that in the second half.
Exactly, and that's why playing long is an easy thing to do early on. It doesn't connect playing Jensen down the left side. It's fine. Now Eastern Kentucky has the ball 70 yards from the goal.
Burdick looking out over the pitch, evaluating her options. Darwin comes in, only finds Higgs. Back by Burdick, up. Woke able to cut that one out, but it might create an opportunity here for Greta Gunn. Tries to put a cross in, given right back to her by Miller. Gunn tries to put the ball through the feet of Miller, succeeds, but Miller able to recover and put that one out.
You don't get credit for a nutmeg if you don't get back on the ball. You get
100%.
no credit. Miller shut that down 3 times on the flank. Excellent performance tonight from Aaron Miller.
Burdick once again on the throw. Will work it into the midfield. Woke tried to find Bryan and does. Bryan with a burst of pace. Looking for the run of Macy Rainwater, but it's cut out once again by Ransom.
Good look, though, and it flips the field again. It almost came off. You saw the little hesitation for Bryan and then the explosiveness to her right. Those little things, the pauses in the game, the changes of pace, you don't normally see freshmen with that capability. Love to see it from Allie Bryan tonight.
And Bryan with the last touch there will be a throw-in for EKU. Kendall Hoskins puts that one up. So often, Jason, you see a coach put his starters back up in the second half. Benji Walton liked what he saw late on in that first half, and he's keeping with mostly the same crew.
Yeah, a little bit of a mix and match, and it's kind of really adjusting to where this game is at the moment. I think Benji Walton and the moves that he has made tonight have been spot on across the board. The subs were all dead on, changing the game. And the starting lineup, the idea coming into this, being very fluid, not locked into a shape to deal with an Eastern Kentucky team that gets numbers forward. It's been perfect so far.
Lucy Ream earns her side a free kick, and that injects some energy into the bench as Maya Ransom looks set to take this free kick.
You have to get on your marks here on the set piece for the Owls. Just have to make sure that everybody is accounted for and then win the second ball.
Give me some space, says Ransom. She looks to put this one in. Higgs almost got a boot to it. Who got the last touch on that one? It is a corner for EKU.
No, goal kick. Goal kick.
Did not see the direction clearly there from the referee, Sky Arthur Banning. It is a goal kick taken here by Bly. Miller out wide for Decker. Decker hoofs this one up. We've seen this battle all game between Rainwater and Maya Ransom.
Hand was in the back. That's going to get the call pretty much every time. Rainwater had really hand checking, but it's very intelligent from Ransom to go down, get that foul.
Headed up by Decker. Last touch off. A Kennesaw State player will be EKU throw, taken quickly. It was a great run there, but eventually cut out. It was the run from Fitzgerald. EKU able to maintain possession, however. Charging run here from Mackenzie Burdick. Goes all the way through for Alana Bly.
But why was that pass over hit? Because of pressure coming all the way across the field by Macy Rainwater.
What do you think the message from Benji Walton at halftime to protect this 2-0 advantage was?
Time to work. Time to work, because you know that Eastern Kentucky's going to get numbers forward. If you're a forward for Kennesaw State here in the second half, you're going to have to defend just like the back line. And Rainwater showed it in that last sequence.
Back into the defense from Celia Lopez. Long diagonal switch of play. Getting there first is Kendall Hoskins. Kendall Hoskins, great use of her body there to protect the ball.
A bit of attitude there from Hoskins. I like it.
And almost getting there first was Greta Gunn. Instead, Alana Bly comes out to claim.
It's something that we haven't seen a ton of this year, and I think we're starting to see it, is Kennesaw State playing with a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of a swagger.
Kennesaw State, a lot of freshmen coming into the side, a lot of veteran presence, missing through injury. Seeming like they've really found their identity here today.
you wait for those moments for the freshman and for players like Hoskins, who hasn't played a ton in her Kennesaw State career. You wait for those moments where it clicks and you find the chemistry with certain groups on the field. And I think you're seeing that tonight for the Owls.
Hoskins with the throw, finds Rivera. Back into the midfield for Bryan. Bryan's so good on the run, trying to get to the byline. Cut out by Ransom, will go out for another corner. We know how dangerous Kennesaw State is from corners. We saw that in the first half through the goal from Miller.
Jensen's going to go across to take this one, so this will be an in-swinger.
Jensen has earned that right to live over this corner kick.
We mentioned Eastern Kentucky coming out and throwing everything forward early. That ended really fast when the Owls threatened them with a couple of long balls over the top.
Jensen, left hand up in the air. Corner comes in. It's another floated effort, but this time headed back by Burdick. It'll be another corner here.
Didn't quite get the distance on that one. Was looking for Miller, just didn't quite get to her.
Jensen will be looking to get the boot under the ball here and create some vertical action, as she does right here. Believe Kendall Higgs got her head to that one. Jensen keeps it from going out. It's another cross in. Falls to Higgs. Back for Hoskins. She thought about the shot, but it was good defensive work there from Gunn. Cutting out the counterattack was Woke. Decker tries to put it back into the pot. Woke has looked a different player ever since she began to represent Peru. Could it be Rivera again? Coming out to claim was Carly Dean.
Another great through ball from Kendall Higgs. But that last sequence where Woke wins the tackle, it's again with an attacking player, and in that moment it was Jensen because she delivered those corners, pressuring a play where she's not likely to get on it, not likely to win the tackle, but the pressure creates a loose touch and creates a turnover.
Good through ball here on the other side. Greta Gunn with pace. Decker jousting with Gunn. Gunn earning her side of corner.
Decker and Miller have been absolutely outstanding for the Owls tonight. Senior leadership, a very young team, a lot of the veteran players that were expected to be impact players this season have missed time due to injury, and defensively, Decker and Miller are leading by example.
Gunn over this one, sends it to the 6-yard box, was trying to aim for the near post, instead it actually hits the outside netting. It'll be a goal kick for Kennesaw State.
Two defenders there had it under control. Bly was there as well.
Alana Bly has 5 saves on the stat sheet, Jason, but besides that double save that she made on Lemery in the first half, you have to say that she's been relatively untested.
Yeah, that's the one. There was that one dangerous cross that she dove out and got on the end of, but the double save on Lemery kept it scoreless and gave the Owls the opportunity to go get those 2 goals late in the half.
Hoskins takes a boot there from Ream and earns a free kick.
A little bit of frustration. And hey, go back to that last sequence where Hoskins used her body to shield Ream away. Those are the little things that get under your skin, and when you get a chance to pay a receipt, Ream does there. But that gives Kennesaw State the opportunity to keep possession, run some clock.
And I think it doesn't help, Jason, when you're seeing as much of the pitch as Ream does. I mean, you're talking about one of the most stalwart defenders for this EKU side. Tiana Rivera showing the silky skills as he showed the silky shot earlier. And as a handball here, that will be a free kick for Kennesaw State.
Colonel's getting a little frustrated here to start the second half. I think they probably had the idea coming into the half that they would be able to press, force some turnovers, force some mistakes, but it's been the Owls who have taken the initiative.
Kendall Higgs with a long left-booted free kick. Headed out and trying to convince the ball to come their way as the Kennesaw State bench. The match is always more fun when you're winning, Jason.
Absolutely it is. And so far, the Owls really handling the pressure here in the second half very, very well.
Kennesaw State really showing their personality today. Good turn on the throw in. Kendall Higgs takes about the left foot. It's boot, and it's off the post. EKU can't clear. Tiana Rivera to Hoskins. Does battle with Lucy Ream. Lucy Ream's such a good defender. Kendall Hoskins unable to get the better of her there. Puts it up. Saved by Woke. Woke with a right booted cross. Now, chance for EKU to react. Good run here from Thelia Lopez. Finds Lowry, who's offside. Shot would have been wide anyway.
Yeah, can't be offside in that situation. Doesn't matter because the shot was wide, but you're looking across the line. Can't lose your focus in that moment and be offside. Again, you see the composure defensively, and include Cameron Simmons in that as well. Another senior. Those three really playing as the back line tonight, with Jensen pushed up a lot higher on the left in this fluid shape for the Owls. But they held their ground. They made it difficult for the Colonels to find the space.
Looking for the run of Lowry. Decker puts that one up towards the halfway line. Saved from going into the half by Rowlett. EKU, opportunity here on the edge of the box. Left-footed shot from Audrey Anderson does not trouble Alana Bly.
Good work from Jensen when she has to get called upon to come back and defend. Handles it well. Now, it's really a 3-5-2 for the Owls, or at least the way it's playing out. Formations are so overrated, folks. Don't get hung up on the numbers and where people are. Opportunity here for Rainwater down the right.
Trying to find the run of Rivera. We'll go all the way through for Dean.
Yeah, do not get hung up on formation and numbers and where they are, but the way this game has evolved, it's really Simmons, Miller, and Decker as the three defenders for the Owls, with Hoskins and Jensen as wing backs who will drop in and defend when needed.
Ball being played through the back four now of Kennesaw State. Hoofed up. Was looking for Rainwater. Boot put that through that one from EKU defender. Good win there from Fitzgerald to win the ball.
The turf monster popped up there too.
Kennesaw State returned the favor by winning the pitch in the midfield. Winning the ball in the midfield. Chance here emerging for EKU on the far side. Jensen has to get there first. Great use of the body there from Jensen. We haven't seen her in the back line much this season, but she's looking like a natural there.
Yeah, wing back roll as the way this game's playing out. Perfect for her. She can get forward a ton, but when she has to defend, she's done the job tonight.
Slight push there from Burdick on Rivera. Be a free kick here in their own half for Kennesaw State.
Kendall Higgs, such an intelligent player, will take her time in these moments when she can.
Kendall Higgs is one of the absolute gamers in this conference. Great little flick there from Thelia Lopez, who has been EKU's best player of the day by far. Great ball over the top there, looking for Lowry. Alana Bly once again forced to come out, and does well doing so.
Yeah, Bly's got that under control. So strong in coming off of her goal line, off of her 6-yard box, the freshman from Duncan, South Carolina. Just growing in confidence every game she plays.
Ball bouncing around the edge of EKU's defensive third. They eventually put it out, electing for a Kennesaw State throw. Some substitutions to be made here for both sides as Caden Price and Agatha Gianni look to check in. For EKU, it's Maddie Murphy, who actually scored in the last game, a win against Stetson, 2-0 for EKU.
Murphy was dangerous at times for the Colonels in the first half.
Rainwater going through the car wash there and coming out with a ball. Gianni in midfield looking for Jensen.
Great ball.
Great ball to the left side indeed. Jensen with a cross in, headed on by Rivera, but it's wide.
Unable to get around that to head it on frame, but great work from Gianni and Jensen to create the cross.
Rivera has looked electric today. Dean with the goal kick. Almost headed on by Audrey Anderson. Going back to Simmons is Jensen. Miller and Bly both trying to come onto that one. A little bit of a miscue here. Great job to keep it in from Lemery. Lemery against Miller. Lemery to the byline. With the left foot. Cross comes in, long shot, but it took a bounce right in front of Alana Bly. Did the shot from Caitlin Rowlett.
Bly, again, isn't able to clear that first one cleanly because of the hard work from Lemery, but still under control in the whole sequence.
Bly with a high punt. Rivera jousting with Burdick. Ball drops into the midfield for Fitzgerald. Was looking for the run of Gunn. Bly. The message from the EKU bench is to press.
They have to at this point. They have to try to turn this game around.
Gianni. Cut out there by Rowlett.
Great work by Rowlett.
Pass comes up. Long shot. Alana Bly had to dive to save that one. Maddie Lemery trying to make this game come alive for EKU.
Yeah, dangerous from Lemery. See her quality. 7 goals on the year. Bly is always going to be on the top of her 6-yard box or even further out to cover that space behind the back line. Lemery tries to take advantage, but Bly covers the ground so well and pushes that wide.
Gunn over the corner again as EKU looks to answer the set piece that was scored by Kennesaw State in the first half. It was the opening goal for the Owls. Corner comes in, crowding the keeper. Falls to Murphy, who was unable to keep that one in. Will go out for a goal kick.
Couple of score updates around the A-Sun. Stetson has turned their game around. They're up 2-1 at home over Austin P in the 62nd minute. That would put them on 10 points, and they join that party on 11 and 10 points, 4th through, that's going to take it down to 8th. Bellarmine is in action now at Jacksonville State. No score in the 19th minute.
Ball hoofed up, but cut out by EKU. Fitzgerald. On the right boot, curling shot, but wide of the left post.
As the live table currently stands, Kennesaw State would be in a tournament spot. They'd be level with Stetson on 10 points. You do have to expect that Bellarmine should get the win on the road at Jacksonville State. It only has 1 point this season, but that's not a guarantee. If Bellarmine wins that, then they would also get to 10 points.
Bellarmine, relative newcomers to Division I. This ball goes all the way through for Rivera. Rivera, so many options in front of her. Puts it out wide for Price. Good opportunity here for Kennesaw State. Price towards the corner flag, puts the cross in, cut out by Ransom.
That was a great ball from Rivera. Great look to play that to the opposite side, but the Owls have to drop and defend here.
EKU trying to move the other direction. Roll it with the over-the-top ball. Comes off Decker and drops. Could be a good opportunity here for Murphy. Tried to put a shot in between Bly and the near post, but Bly does a great job in keeping that one out.
Good positioning from Alana Bly. She has the near post covered. Going to make Murphy have to try to go to the far post, which is far more difficult. Murphy tries to beat her with power at the near post. Bly makes it look easy.
9th save of the evening for Alana Bly and Kennesaw State.
It's a little bit different kind of match than previous games where we've seen Bly with a number of saves, a high number of saves. It hasn't felt like the Owls have been under pressure throughout the match. It's an open match. It's a very wide open match. The Owls are getting their opportunities the other way as well. And Bly's been called upon a few times.
Bly set a program record with 16 save against Liberty in the last home match here. Miller will come out to put that one out. Dodging that one was head coach Benji Walton.
I'm going to have to ask Benji where he got the shoes. I like the shoes.
Always good with a drip is Benji Walton.
All yellow kicks. I'm digging that.
You might have to fine Erin Miller, though, if she keeps trying to clear the ball at him.
Maybe she doesn't like the kicks.
100 push-ups next time in training. Throwing comes in.
It keeps the clean sheet. He is not going to mind at all.
Clean sheet has been relatively difficult to come by for Kennesaw State this season. They did get one in their last win at Jacksonville on October 2nd. A lone goal from Haley Decker. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? She'll say it was a shot, but it found the side netting for Haley Decker's first career goal as a Kennesaw State Owl. And checking in, presumably in the fullback position or wingback, depending on how they choose to play the rest of this game, Malika checks in for Jensen.
Really good shift for Mai Jensen. Came on for Malika fairly early. Did very well, not just with the assist, but her overall play.
Ball falls here for Audrey Anderson. That one goes well wide. Goal kick for Kennesaw State.
Just over halfway through the second half. And that early pressure was really very early and very short from the Colonels. A couple of opportunities. And we've talked a lot about kind of field position in this one, and I think it's something that doesn't get talked about enough in the women's game for sure, but in the men's game as well. When you're able to flip the field and a team comes out, they're chasing the game, they're 2 goals down, they're going to send everything forward, and you get a couple of balls over the top. They might not connect, but you force the other team to play in their own half. It makes it a lot harder for them to play with the intensity in the attacking half.
Looking at early contenders for Woman of the Match in this one, Jason, and late on in that first half, we saw a litany of substitutions made by Walton. You'd have to think that one of the women of the match has to come from one of those substitutes, correct?
Possibly. I'm slightly inclined to give it to Erin Miller as well, not just because of the goal, but how good she's been defensively.
A great choice. Could be an opportunity here through Tatiana Jones. Tries to put Haley Decker on skates, but that's difficult to do.
Like, Haley Decker's got to be in that conversation as well because she's been very good defensively. The 3 center backs, Simmons, Decker, and Miller, have all been outstanding.
3 defenders who were really cornerstones of the back line for Coach Benji Walton last year, showing that experience this year as Kennesaw State has a 2-goal lead with 20 minutes left. Clearance blocked from Cameron Simmons. Could be trouble here for Kennesaw State.
Yeah, that came off the hand of Murphy. I'm kind of shocked that wasn't called.
Naomi Malika comes out with that one. Great tenacious play there from Murphy. Malika able to get that one out for an EKU throw.
Colonels really need to get something going now. They did a good job of this in the first half when they went to the bench, brought in a ton of fresh legs that changed the energy levels. Can they do that again here?
Burdick with a throw in. Kennesaw State men's basketball, Chris Youngblood right behind her. Throw in comes in. Ball bouncing all around the penalty area. Shot came from Tatiana Jones, was blocked.
Brian had the initial header out and then blocked the shot at the top of the 18.
Now, Owls with a chance to make something happen the other way. Tiana Rivera, so electric since she came on as a substitute in the first half. That one comes off the EKU player last, even though she took the throw in. Kennesaw State won't mind. That'll shave some seconds off the clock.
Tiana Rivera has no problem taking anybody on the dribble tonight.
Some strong, experienced players checking back in for Kennesaw State, namely Sydney Borgelt, as you see on your screen there, Kendall Higgs, part of that pair.
Excellent work from Woke, giving Borgelt an opportunity to be fully rested to close this out.
Woke is someone, Jason, who didn't see a lot of action, but then she went to go represent Peru on the international level, a youth level, and she's looked like a different player ever since then for me.
Yeah, she was busy over the summer with Peru as well, and maybe she came in just a little tired after a busy summer on national team duty. But when players get that call up, it's a huge reward, and it's a huge boost to confidence.
Cameron Simmons with a fantastic ball over the top, finds the run of Bryan. Bryan trying to evaluate the best option. Ball falling all around the box. It takes a touch off Dean last. And another corner here for Kennesaw State.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Dean knew about it, but she makes a big save there as Rainwater just tried to poke that one through. But the ball from Simmons to Bryan to open the game up, it's those kinds of passes that have really limited Eastern Kentucky's ability to get into the attacking half consistently.
Third shot stopped for Dean today. Borgelt on the corner, comes in. Headed on by Rivera. She got the last touch, but it'll be wide. One more sub for EKU. We saw a lot from EKU late on in the first half. You have to believe we're going to see a reflection of that here in the second as Mila Sharpless checks in from Kylie Fitzgerald. And Sharpless looked a dangerous player when she checked in the first half.
Yeah, I thought Sharpless was one of the Colonel's best players in the first half. Just over her head there.
A little push in the back will earn a free kick for EKU.
You don't mind committing those fouls in the middle third if you're Kennesaw State because it just breaks up the play.
Free kick hoofed up to the left side. Finds the run of Tatiana Jones. Jones against Decker. Jones tried to put that ball, tried to square it toward one of her teammates, but it's cleared out by Higgs.
The Owls defending so well centrally tonight. They'll give some possession away out wide. That's fine. They're handling things in the middle so well and making it difficult for the Colonels to find that space. We talked about it off the jump with Maddie Limmery really liking to come from the outside in on her runs to create problems. She did one time in the first half, but in general, that hasn't worked tonight.
A couple more substitutions check in for EKU. Some familiar faces as Ream and Gunn check back in. Ball sent out to the right side, but it's over the head of Maddie Murphy. It will go out for a throw in and be taken here by Malika.
The flip side of the Owls also playing more direct than maybe we've been accustomed to seeing them this season. It makes the Colonels have to build up the play. When they do win it, they have to deal with pressure from the Owls, but they also have to pick out those passes. They're not turning the game over in the attacking half with their pressure. They're having to play with the ball at their feet in the back. They're struggling at times.
Long throw in, taken by EKU. Headed back to where it came from by Miller. She'll get the ball again from Higgs. Bly does a great job to find Malika.
Great job by Bly and Malika.
Higgs with a great turn onto the inside. Has options in front of her. Still with Higgs. Will square it toward Borgelt. Borgelt. Nothing in front of her. Tried to put it towards Rainwater. Cleared out by Thompson. By Jones, rather. That one will go out for an EKU throw on the edge of their defensive third.
This has been an excellent second half from Kennesaw State. First half, I felt like they had a lot of control. It took a while to find the breakthrough. They've had complete control in the second half.
EKU trying to do everything they can just to get that ball into the other half. Kennesaw State doing a much better job of keeping EKU in their own half. Higgs, great ball out wide for Price. Price taking on Jones. Price with a cross in. Good defending there. Borgelt had kept her eye on the ball, but now Gunn charging up, trying to shoot forward. A run for Lemery. Out once again is Bly.
No problem there. Well handled. It's such a long run that there really isn't the space between the back line and the top of the 18 where Bly's positioned for Lemry to get on the end of that. The Owls have kept her very quiet tonight.
Bly, one save away from reaching double-digit saves for the third time this season. Did so also in the team's last game against Central Arkansas. That was in Conway. Bly with 10 saves in that one, 9 saves tonight. She might be forced into making one here. Lemry once again. Curler goes over the bar and out for a goal kick.
She's been pretty quiet tonight, but you see the quality of Maddie Lemry there, having to manufacture that, cutting back to her right, able to find that space top of the 18. Not the highest percentage there on a shot, but she has to try to get that off and caused Bly some problems. I think Bly had it handled, but that almost dipped down under the crossbar.
A couple more familiar faces check back in for EKU. 2 starters in Kylie Fitzgerald and Maya Ransom.
Bly scuffs that goal kick. Another opportunity for the Colonels in the attacking half.
Challenge in from Borgelt on Sharpless. Ball remains on the left side for EKU. Borgelt would put a boot through that one. Rainwater unable to get on the end of it. Cross comes in. Easy for Bly to deal with was the cross from Bailey Lanter.
Yeah, no problem there. Again, KSU, the way they are defending, they're not allowing any high percentage chances right now.
Bly with a punt. That one put up. Eluded Sharpless, but found Gunn. Fitzgerald out to the left. To the byline. Cross comes in. It took a touch off Haley Decker. Last will go out for an EKU corner.
Now the midfield in front of the back line for the Owls can't drop off so deep and allow the Colonels to bring that into the final third. That's a couple of times that the Colonels have been able to walk the ball into the final third and create some space.
EKU out shooting Kennesaw State 14-10. Shots on goal in favor of the Colonels 9-4, but it's Kennesaw State who lead 2-0. And that ball goes out to the 18-yard line.
Brian, it came off of Brian. Her arms were down by her side. She didn't reach her arm out to make herself bigger.
This one falls to Fitzgerald. Still Fitzgerald. Cross comes in. Good
Great
defending
work
there from Simmons.
Great work by Simmons.
The back three, if you want to call it that, Jason, has barely stepped wrong all game. Aaron Miller with a half clearance. Gunn with a long-range shot. Great save by Bly. And there's her 10th save of the night.
Commentators curse. That time they took a step wrong because it got in between two of them. Neither one claimed it. Bly's able to clean it up with a nice save.
And it's something we're used to, Jason. Alana Bly has bailed her defense out from a lot of opposing opportunities this season.
As this second half has gone on, I felt like the Owls have had control up until the last couple of minutes. Bly's been called upon to make a big save, but here comes Kennesaw State into the attacking half.
And it's through Kendall Higgs, who finds Caden Price on the right side of the box. Price comes in. Good block there from Rowlett, who puts it out for a corner.
That's what you need to kind of end that momentum for the Colonels as we tick under 9 minutes left. Sydney Borgelt can walk over to take this corner. No need to rush it. The Owls would love to get a third to put this game completely out of reach, but they have to be careful about the possible counter. And if you take a look back towards midfield, you can't see it on the camera now, but 3 defenders staying back this time to prevent that counter.
In a rigid line on the halfway line as Allie Bryan sends one towards goal. Allie Bryan with a left-footed shot, wide and high. Goal kick for EKU.
Last sequence showed why you have a player on the post on those corners. Bryan's header is on frame. It's cleared off the line. Bryan with the follow-up attempt, not able to test Carly Dean.
Audrey Anderson checks back in for EKU.
That whole sequence, flipping the field, getting into the attacking half, earning the corner, took about 90 seconds off the clock in total.
Ball falls for Bryan. Unable to get that one toward Rainwater. Sharpless with a great ball for Anderson. Anderson tried to return the favor, wasn't able to.
Decker stepped up to clear.
Malika, ball bouncing all around the midfield now. Great touch there from Fitzgerald to turn. Malika heads that one up. Touchdown by Anderson. Rainwater trying to get there first. Instead, it's the EKU defender, Bailey Lantern.
Big step by Malika to regain possession.
And it's a great opportunity here as Rainwater is found by Rivera. Rainwater onto the right foot. Great defending there from EKU.
Great recovery. Rainwater wasn't able to get the right-footed shot off. Little back heel, though, almost found Rivera.
Some great recovery pace back to defend from the EKU back line.
Simmons with another big play in the middle third once again.
There's great control once again from Bryan, who sends a cross out to the left side. Rainwater unable to direct her shot toward Dean. Borgelt from distance. That one's wide.
Rainwater was going for the spectacular on that cross, trying to hit it straight out of the air. No problem taking that attempt with a 2-goal lead.
Dean with a goal kick. Good job by those two Kennesaw State Owls, Rivera and Higgs, not to collide heads there. Was a foot away from a scary moment. Checking back in is Tatiana Jones. She assisted Maddie Murphy's goal against Stetson in the last match, a 2-0 win against the Hatters.
Eastern Kentucky came into this one 2 wins out of their last 3. That's what had helped them climb up into 4th place.
Haley Decker chasing this one with Lucy Ream on her tail. Ream wins that one. Gets it and puts it past the defender, but then puts it out for a goal kick.
I think that's what's been so impressive about the Owls' performance tonight is Eastern Kentucky came in with the momentum. They were coming in off of a win, a clean sheet. And KSU was coming in after a couple of losses on the road, only 1 win in 5. And they've looked like a very dominant team tonight.
The referee stopped the clock for Kennesaw State to take the goal kick.
Yeah, a little bit of possible time wasting, maybe.
Kendall Higgs unable to run onto that one due to the clearance of Lanter. EKU have somewhat lacked that penetration that they had a lot of in the first half, Jason.
The 3 center backs have really prevented that. I think they're even more organized here in the second half, just shutting everything down in front of them.
Good turn by Higgs. Found the run of Bryan on the right side. Bryan, edge of the box, finds Rainwater. Narrowly misses the post. And so much of the crowd here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium was convinced that that one had rustled the net.
It's great positioning from Rainwater, and it's the kind of play that we saw late last year where she got on a hot streak in the tournament for the ASUN Conference, scored a hat trick in that tournament. She doesn't make the run into the near post. She hangs out at the top of the 18, and Bryan gives her the opportunity to try to beat Carly Dean.
Rainwater shows no fear, as she does there. She learned that from Kendall Higgs.
What a tackle from Higgs.
Crunching tackle from the 5th-year player. Malika has to get to Tatiana Jones. Jones attempting the trickery, puts a pass in, could be an opportunity here, and it hits the side netting. The shot from Audrey Anderson. Jason, Audrey Anderson had the most shots on the team without a goal coming into this one with 21. It would have been a huge moment for her there.
Nearly found her first one, but it's Tatiana Jones who has been a problem on the dribble for EKU. unbalancing defender. She's able to get that pass in to Anderson, who can't beat Blythe in near post.
Another opportunity here. Great interception there from Miller. Headed on, unbeknownst to her, by Higgs. Allie Bryan with a charging run. Available on the right flank is Hoskins. Great defending there from Rowlett. That'll be a foul there called on Hoskins.
It's a good foul. It's a very good foul from Hoskins because she's beat on the run. She doesn't give up on the play, but it's about clock management at this point with a 2-goal lead. Commit that foul. If you take a card, you take a card. She does it in this case, but you force the Colonels into playing a long ball that your defense can deal with.
Borgelt fouled there.
Those little moments, that play from Hoskins, it's going to go down as a foul on the stat sheet. That's all it'll look like, but it's such an intelligent play to break up a potential counter.
Kennesaw State, 2 minutes and 20 seconds from their first home conference win this year. That free kick sailed just over the head of Rainwater. EKU out to the right for Tatiana Jones. Tatiana Jones has a step on Simmons. Lemery was looking for the pass. Long shot by Sharpless, well high for Bly.
Decker got in the passing lane, had the initial clear. It ends up being a low percentage shot from distance. But this back line covering for each other when needed. A little bit of a deflection. It gets into Lemery, but Decker jumps in the passing lane and makes the big play. And the kids are loving it here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium.
Great turn there once again from Bryan. Such good control. She finds the run of Rivera. Coming out, though, is Dean.
Good read from Dean. Aggressive coming off her line, keeping her team in it.
With certainty saved a potential 3-0 scoreline.
Allie Bryan hasn't gotten on the score sheet, but it's been the second half of just lung-busting runs on the dribble to keep possession and create opportunities and make Eastern Kentucky defend.
Throw-in finds Rainwater to the byline.
Keep it.
She'll just go to the corner flag.
Keep it. Love it.
Gamesmanship there from the sophomore. EKU able to get it out of there, though. Cleared, and it'll just be another Kennesaw State throw.
Yeah, that might end up doing it. You don't see a lot of sophomores with the soccer IQ of Macy Rainwater taking that to the corner, not worrying about the stat sheet or any extra goals or assists on the night, just trying to get this dub.
That one will roll out for a goal kick. EKU look like they've accepted their fate at this point, slowly rolling the ball over to Dean, who looks in no hurry to take it.
It's a great second half for Kennesaw State. They grabbed control of this one late in the first half, and they see it out.
The last home win for Kennesaw State was September 11th, a 2-0 victory against Georgia Southern. Things have changed here today, and it all came, Jason, from that late surge in the first half.
It came, and we'll even go further back than that. The double save from Alana Bly on the second leading scorer in the conference, Maddie Lemery, that gave this team the boost. Aaron Miller heads one home from Mai Jensen's corner. That gave them the lead. And then Tiana Rivera gave them the belief that they could put this thing away. 2 goals, 2 minutes apart late in the first half, and a complete shutdown defensive performance in the second 45 for the Owls.
Jason, we just mentioned that this is only the second home victory for Kennesaw State this year. There's 3 conference games before the tournament. How big is a result like this for Benji Walton and his squad going into the last 3 games of the season?
It's massive on a number of levels. It's huge for confidence with games coming up with an opportunity to play your way into the conference tournament. It's massive in the table right now because it puts them into a tournament spot. They are 7th in the table as we speak, looking at the scores around the ASUN tonight. Stetson is in 8th. Same number of points. They're leading 3-1 late, but they have a lesser goal differential. And that's a big nod to how good this team is defensively for Kennesaw State. They haven't scored a ton, but they have kept games tight in the conference, and that would put them in 7th. Now, Bellarmine is also playing right now. That game started at 8 o'clock. No score at halftime at Jacksonville State. They're coming to town on Sunday. You have to believe that the Owls are going to go into that one knowing they're in a tournament spot, knowing that's a game at home that they should win and a game that they can win.
Going into this game, Kennesaw State had only met with Eastern Kentucky once before. That was September 7th, 2012. A little more than 10 years later, they take a 2-0 all-time series lead against the Colonels, thanks to a corner goal from Aaron Miller with a header in the 43rd minute and an absolute left-footed golazo in the 45th minute from Tiana Rivera. And that seals our scoreline here from Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Matt Rad joined by Jason Longshore on the call today, where the final score is Kennesaw State 2, Eastern Kentucky 0.